up, I thank God. Straight from the mud, now it's time to get the pie. Sweat, prison blood, you can see it in my eye. Up, I thank God. Straight from the mud, now it's time to get the pie. Sweat, prison blood, you can see it in my eye.
Okay, y'all, give me a second as I navigate on this mobile browser. What's up in all of our rainbow glory tonight? All right, I really hope this thing does not reload, because every time I try to scroll, it accidentally reloads and then it kicks me out of the studio. So y'all bear with me a moment. Let me check the comments. Got my good brother in the building, Chief Lone Wolf, good to see you. Do me a favor, because my Bluetooth earphones have been acting up, and I can't tell if the background music is playing or not. Yeah, because I can't even hear the background music. So drop down in the chat and let me know if you're able to hear the background music, and let me know if you're able to hear me. Okay, and I've got to scroll gently so that it does not reload, because like I said, every time I try to scroll on the mobile version, it reloads and it kicks me out of the studio, and I do not want it to kick me out, because the reason it was so delayed getting started is because since I can't share screen, I had to upload all these screenshots, because we finna get into it. Oh, we finna get into it. Okay, so let me check the comments right quick. All right, so hopefully y'all can hear me and the background music okay. So what's up, DzPeepz? I decided to go ahead. At first I was going to wait till tomorrow, but I decided to go ahead and do this live regarding Charlie KIRK and this whole controversy surrounding his untimely death, or as some would say, especially Funky Dineva, Poetic Justice. By the way, shout out to the Godfather of YouTube. I just want to take a moment to give Miss Funky Dineva their props, because it was an amazing thing meeting Funky when the old TGIF of it all crew came here to Houston. That was in 2013. No, not 2013. 2023. Yeah, because that was my birthday, not last year, year before last. And, or was it last year? Hold on. No, that was the year before, because I was still over there in the Heights. So when I had met Funky, Funky was hella down to earth. Loved my edibles, by the way. Shouted out my edibles, and then followed me back on IG. And I've been following Funky since Candy Coated Nights. So we talking, damn, that's been since 2009 when Candy was on Ustream. So we are talking all of 16 years. And yes, I'm one of the Funky bunch from his YouTube channel. I've been following Funky since Funky was doing all of his drag and the wigs and the full-on makeup. And just to see how far Funky has come, especially since the dissolution of TGIF, has truly been inspiring for me. Because that whole situation, it was sad for all of us, the viewers that actually loved that show, when shit went down and, the group disbanded and the show went off the air and everything with Cloudy, yeah. And Al Reynolds and Funky and everything kind of went left. And the one thing that Funky said that I would never forget, he said, I'm going to bet on myself. And ever since Funky bet on himself, Funky has had the greatest glow up I have ever seen anybody on YouTube, Instagram, all the social media ever have. To see Miss Funky Dineva go from having, and still has always had a successful YouTube channel. That's why I call him the godfather of YouTube, because he's been on YouTube, I think about 14, I think going on 15 years. And to see him on Instagram in his own home, having his own studio, I said, now that's how you glow the fuck up on people that gave up on you. That's how you do that. When people call themselves counting you out, Miss Claudia, you and the producers there at TGIF that thought trying to replace Funky was gonna work, but did not call it family. Let me just pat myself on the back, because I called that shit last year. I said that show is not gonna last without Funky, because the Funky Bunch was why TGIF on Fox Soul was what it was. So when Funky left and we all left, the show flopped. And even though Claudia didn't do right by Funky Dineva, Funky has grown up and she has been paying dust. Ain't nobody checking for you no more, Miss Claudia. Nobody's checking for you, boo. With your old it don't move looking ass face, all that goddamn Botox and injections and shit. You know, Claudia, all you gotta do is eat your antioxidants, boo. You ain't gotta get all the toxins and the Botox, because baby, you can get that face lifted and pulled, but that turkey neck is giving your real age. Now, even though I don't fuck with Jaguar no more, that video she did of your ass on her channel was hilarious. She was like, that's Claudia. When you had that turkey ass neck and your face was so goddamn, your cheeks were so goddamn tight, them shits was shiny as hell. No ma'am, no ham, no turkey. I'm gonna need you to stop with the injections, ma'am, and just age gracefully, okay? But I just wanted to give a round of applause to Miss Funky Dineva, because when I looked at his post the other day, I left a paragraph. I said, to see you go from, like, my journey simulates his 1000%. Funky Dineva lost his job. Funky Dineva was on unemployment. He was having to live in hotels. He was having to stay with people, having to have the very people that were trying to help him shit on him and betray him. Michelle A.T. Alien, with your fat bloated ass, you still ain't made no waves here on YouTube. See, here's the thing. I used to follow her too before I ever had a YouTube channel. I used to follow Michelle A.T. Allen until I seen the way she was shitting on Funky, and I'm like, you know, the clout chasing of trolls and non-motherfucking factors is a real thing. You know, y'all saw me, fuck around and find out about the troll factor this past year, but watching Funky go through that, I remember when Michelle A.T. Allen was talking, and still be talking cash money shit. She's just obsessed with him as Jaguar and the rest are obsessed with me. It's insane. Because it's like when you stop fucking with people, they get in their feelings, and all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, they want to be constantly having your name in their mouth and shit. And when I seen her do that, that's why I unfollowed her, because I'm like, Funky don't even be talking about you, but you constantly bashing him, calling him a cokehead, and she was the one he stayed with when he was trying to get back on his feet. So to see him go from that, because again, I've been following Funky a long time, to see him go from that to coming up on his own on YouTube, to being a part of the cast on TGIF. And let's keep it a stack, Funky was always the comic relief on the TGIF of it all. That's why the shit flopped when he left. He said, I'm going to bet on myself. He didn't tell everybody what his plans were. He didn't, make a bunch of announcements. He literally bet on himself, went back to his show where he was making more money and able to do his own thing, as opposed to staying with TGIF and working 5 days a week for the same amount of money. And I don't blame you, boo, because without you, we all saw how that shit went. Now Cloudy is on YouTube doing geriatric shows that don't nobody watch. Ain't nobody checking for you on YouTube, ma'am. Okay, that's why you tried to make yourself relevant, popping all in the comments and DMing me. I still ain't read them fucking messages that you sent last year when you saw Jaguar on my channel. You try to seek relevance from people that are trending, because you're not. And when Funky left that show, that was the best thing he could have ever did, was bet on himself. And to see him now have a home, not a condo, not an apartment, a house with his own studio, you best believe that has inspired me so much, because I keep having premonitions of me in my permanent home. And even though, I'm rebuilding and starting over because I need surgery, and only because I need surgery, it's an amazing thing to see that journey, to see this cast that I met, because I was a part of the Foxhole live studio audience when they came to Houston. They were actually planning to get the show syndicated, which is why Claudia, Al Reynolds, and Funky were here. I had even let them know about my catering services, because I am a culinary chef. I've been a certified culinary trainer for 25 plus years. I've, managed in kitchens, grew up in a catering business, technically have my own. And I gave all of them my special brownies, you feel me? And Funky was like, bitch, I don't know what you put in them shits, but I was on cloud 10. I said, nigga, you gonna be on cloud 11 fucking with me. But I'm just saying, it was an amazing thing to meet them in person. And when I met Cloudy, she actually seemed very sweet and down to earth. But then when I seen the fuck shit she was doing with Armand Wiggins, and then the shit she did to Funky and Al, the same shit Tamar just did to Funky Dineva, Cloudy did. Where y'all sit up there and pretend to be friends, and then when a motherfucker checks you about the bullshit you on, then y'all want to talk shit and do all this stuff on social media and block people and unfollow. And for motherfuckers to be of geriatric age, Claudia, especially y'all too old to be doing that shit. Anybody older than me doing that whole ass shit, you too old to be doing that shit. For real. So I just had to give my props to Miss Funky Dineva, because out of all the people on the TGIF of it all, Funky was the realest, and the real always win and the fake always finish last. So I just want to give a huge shout out. Congratulations on your studio. Funky has the voice, the look, the vibe, and the professionalism, and it cracked me up. We will do a separate live. I'm gonna go in about Tamar, but when he said, I'm not gonna be the bigger person, Tamar, I'm just as petty as you, I'm just as mentally unstable, I fell the fuck out, because anybody who is a part of the Funky Bunch knows that Funky has been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and that is not a laughing matter. But it's the fact that he was like, no, I'm not finna act like everything is cool when you out here letting people think that I did something to you, and I didn't do shit to you. And even after going through that betrayal, think about it, he went through back-to-back betrayals and is still winning. That's how the fuck you show a motherfucker how they don't have power over you. So, Cloudy, yeah. Because I know your ass still be watching my channel. Because you was all on that other show with the loudmouth chick that used to be on Love and Hip Hop. What's her name? I think her name is Simone. All on there playing victim. Why do women who sit up and bully people online always want to be playing victim? I said it makes sense for her to be on panel with Simone, because Simone was just like that when she was on Love and Hip Hop. loudmouth as hell. Oh, I couldn't stand her voice. Always bullying people, but then I always want to play victim, talking about how the specifically Claudia said that black gay men and black women, aka Just D Show and Funky Dineva, are always coming for her on YouTube. No ma'am, no ham, no turkey. You are always acting like you're better than the black community because you're half Italian, okay? See, I supported you until I realized you was full of shit, like a lot of these other people on YouTube, okay? So, that's a real good in your face, okay? That Funky did without even saying in your face. That motherfucker bet on himself and came up without y'all. And that's how the fuck you do that. Now, with that being said, shout out to Funky. Shout out to Funky. And thank you for the inspiration. Because when I looked up and saw that, I said, that's gonna be me. I'm gonna have my home. I'm going to have my studio because I already know how to do all of that. I've worked in television broadcast network or television network broadcasting. I've done that. I've done videography. I've done editing. I've done post and pre-production, digital marketing, all of that. That's how come everything on my channel is my work. The very backgrounds that you're looking at, I edited on my phone, okay? I did this shit. I don't pay nobody to edit for me. I do all of my shit. Everything on my channel is my work. Okay, so with that being said, shout out to Miss Funky Dineva. Now, I want to thank everybody for your support of my channel. Thank you so much. For those who would like to support the channel, feel free to send any donations to my Cash App or Venmo. As you guys know, I do not enable super chats, nor super stickers, nor memberships on my channel because of the large percentage that YouTube takes. So if you'd like to support my channel, and it's also scrolling across the bottom of the screen, feel free to send your donations. For our uncensored lives and for the upcoming watch parties, which I am going to see if we could possibly, I'm going to try to do one on my mobile device until I'm able to get into a place where I can have access to my green screen and have my laptop set up. But for now, I am going to see if we can maybe do a watch party tomorrow. So y'all make sure, if you are not following me on Rumble, make sure to look me up at Just D Show. And make sure to hit subscribe and make sure to hit follow. I want to also take a moment to acknowledge all of my followers on Rumble. I saw that there's a new subscriber on my Rumble channel. Thank you to the Rumble DzPeepz for following and subscribing. For those who are not, again, look me up, rumble.com/user/JustDeeShow. And then family, make sure y'all hit the like on the way in, because I know y'all don't really get to see my beautiful face that much. Now, if y'all want to see this avatar for the rest of the live, we can do that. But seeing as how we're talking about a very important subject tonight, Mr. Charlie Kirk, racism, transphobia, and homophobia, I do think I want to stunt with my rainbow scarf and the rainbow background that I edited on my phone. Okay, so y'all make sure to hit the like and share this video. I want to give a shout out to everybody who's been signing my Stop YouTube Global Cyberbullying and Gang Stalking petition. Thank you to all of the damn near 800 signatures. Y'all, we are looking to get a minimum of 15,000 and more so that we can actually get this sent up in litigation. For those who have been following me for a year or more, you guys witnessed the events that happened on February 9th this year, and the following events. You guys got to witness the cyberbullying, gang stalking from all of the real rejects of YouTube, the real geriatric rejects of YouTube, the Jaguar Right, Garbage Pail, just all the losers of YouTube that got mad because I didn't want to fuck with them no more. Let's make sure we are signing and sharing that petition so that we can get this going up in litigation, and those people will be held accountable. So thank you for that. Cody said, hey fam, my phone just let your lives. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. Honestly, I had never heard of Claudia. See what I mean? Don't nobody know who the fuck you are unless they was watching your ass on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. See, I know who Claudia is because she was a video vixen back in the day, and because she was what was it, Miss Rhode Island, I believe, back in the day. And you know, I grew up doing modeling myself and my sister because we're both tall. I'm 5'9", she's 5'8.5". Actually, recently, my height was measured, and they said I was 5'8.5", but I've always been 5'9". As I digress, watching her and Kenya Moore, me growing up in Nebraska, the home of Malcolm X, where growing up in the 90s, black girls never made it to like major pageants. That's how I know who Claudia is. And then seeing her in Genuine's videos as a video vixen, and then later seeing her as a guest on the Real Housewives of Atlanta when Nene Leakes, you know, called her out and claimed that her clit had fell out because, you know, her pussy had been allegedly ran through by all the people in the industry. According to Nene Leakes, I'm not saying that. That's what Nene Leakes said on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So yeah, y'all like Claudia. Look, while you've been talking shit about me, baby, I've been making your ass famous on YouTube. Because when I tell you ain't nobody watching your channel, ain't nobody watching you and them geriatric bitches with all of y'all superficial faux fur jackets. Don't nobody give a fuck about that shit. Like, you're not trending, you're not relevant. That's why you came on here and posted paragraphs of comments and then sent all them DMs that I still ain't read, ain't never finna read on Instagram. And then because I didn't read the shit but read your ass for fields on my channel, then oh, I'm a victim, now I have to block her. You were looking for relevancy, you didn't find it, you're still not relevant, okay? But Funky Dineva came the fuck up without y'all ass. And again, just shout out to Funky, because that's how the fuck you do that shit. Thank you. Definitely heard it. Everybody know Funky. Everybody knows Funky Dineva. Nobody knows Claudia and them Timu ass wigs on them Tubi ass movies. No ma'am, no ham, no turkey. Okay? So Cody said that is exactly the same words I would have said to Tamar as well. Word for word. I know. Look, I know your petty ass would have said that shit. Funky said, I'm not gonna be the bigger person. I'm just as petty as you. I'm just as mentally unstable as you. I fell out because, see, one thing I love about Funky is his authenticity. Funky owns, like, no, I know I'm not rap fighting, bitch. I don't give no fucks. If you going low, I'm going lower. Shit had me dying. Oh, so yes, I will have to definitely do another live covering that because that was hilarious. Neptune Pisces, good to see you. Good to see you. I mean, I'm so proud of Funky. When I tell you, that post just gave me like such just a burst of, okay, D, keep going. That's finna be you. Like, what's crazy, y'all, and I have not even told y'all this, that's literally my plan as we speak. Like, not just Forever Freedom. I'm planning for getting my home. I don't care what my situation is right now. Y'all know I've been walking by sheer faith, right? My plan has always been to have a home built because I've never had a home. I've always lived in apartments and stuff like that. I want a home, I want a music recording studio, and I want my show studio where I have my own studio, my own background, all of my own content, and I'm not under no network's foot. I don't have to play the game like he tried to do. And here's the thing, what was crazy is Funky was making more money doing YouTube than he was doing TGIF. So let me get my Funky Dineva voice. Is it me, or was it insane for TGIF and Fox Soul to think he would spend 5 days a week making less money for more work? Ain't nobody finna do that shit. That's just like when I was training people in the restaurant. That's just like me telling them, okay, you're gonna come in with me and work open and close every day, but I'm gonna pay you the same as when you was in, you know what I'm saying? Like, the fuck, ain't nobody doing that shit. Especially if you know you can make more money on your own. It's just common sense. So straight up, proud of Funky. Thank you so much. Yes, y'all show some love. Hit the likes, hit the likes, hit the likes. Good to see you, Neptune Pisces. I got both my good brothers in the building. Good to see you. Well, Cloudy, and Funky made up. All she has to do is apologize to Al, and then we could possibly get another revid. I'm gonna tell you right now, there will be no revitalization of TGIF. I'm gonna tell you why. It's dead. Funky is doing too well. He doesn't need TGIF. Now, I had heard that. I heard that, Funky had made a comment saying he missed his coworkers. And Claudia, let's keep it real. Ain't nobody checking for you. So I think she needed to go through that ego death, because she just thinks she's the shit. Baby, you was the shit in the 90s. You was a shit, when you had relevancy. You don't have relevancy. I think you're damn near 60 now. So again, you need to be doing what all the other geriatrics of YouTube are doing, talking about old people shit and AARP. But I'm just saying, those of us that like once a show is off the air, it's gonna take a lot. It would honestly take Funky promoting the show on his channel a lot to even, because we don't trust them no more. The Funky Bunch, we don't fuck with Claudia no more. Now Al is cool. Al is cool in my book. But Claudia, no ma'am, no ham, no turkey. We ain't fucking with your ass. Because I seen how you did that whole ass shit. Not only to Funky, you did the same shit to Armand Wiggins. And I've never liked Armand. And I'm going to tell y'all why. Armand has a lot of deep-seated, unhealed energy in mommy abandonment issues. He's another one. And my thing is, be loud and proud. I'm openly bisexual, so this is not about homophobia. But one thing I cannot stand are gay black men that constantly bash black women, because you came from a black woman. So that means you need to go heal your mommy issues. That is why I don't like Armand. I have not liked him ever since I first heard him on YouTube. I've never subscribed to his channel because I don't fuck with his energy. And I didn't like him before I had a YouTube channel. So this has nothing to do with YouTube or being a hater. His fan base is just as low vibrational as he is. You attract the energy that you give out. So when she and she says, well, I didn't make the decision. Yeah, but you were part of, let's keep it a stack. You were part of the final decision on making him co-host. And you sat right on camera, Claudia, and laughed and kikied when he called himself roasting Al. And that wasn't no fucking roast. He was spreading all the dirty laundry of TGIF and Foxo, and that's unprofessional. And you allowed that shit. As someone who built the show, as you said, Claudia, as someone who handpicked your co-host, how the fuck you gonna let somebody brand new to the network come in and bash Al? And allegedly, it was said that him and Al was fucking the same producer, allegedly. And we all know your messy ass knew that shit. So how the fuck you sit there and laugh and kiki while he's bashing the co-host who helped to make the show? Because it was Funky and Al that helped you to make the show. Let's keep it a stack. How the fuck you sit there and let this shit happen and then try to play victim when everybody came for you? And I remember defending your ass. And then I thought about it like, she two-faced as fuck, because you sat here and laughed while he talked all that shit about Al, and then you got on Instagram and acted like you and Al were best friends and like you had an issue with Armand. The next thing you know, you were photographed and videoed going to lunch with Armand. See, two-faced bitches I can't fuck with. I'm too real for that. I can't fuck with it, and I don't give a damn if you're a celebrity. That don't mean shit to me at all. But it's the fact that you literally single-handedly, in my opinion, ruined your own show, because you could have stopped that. You should have checked, because Armand is young and ignorant and stupid. You should have checked him on air, because not only did he bash Al, he brought up Al and his ex-wife. And y'all know that the network had been served a cease and desist to not ever speak about that, and he spoke about it on air. So I think, just like the Charlie Kirk situation got some poetic justice, Claudia, you got some poetic justice, and now you realize how much your ass needed, Funky. See, that's how you handle haters. You don't go back and forth with them. You glow up without them. and then you watch him come back and beg, like I saw in that premonition when what do we call her? Miss Chokes on Dicks was on her knees begging to have a sisterhood again. No ma'am, no ham, no turkey. I will never trust your ass again. I do hope you heal, but I'm not gonna ever fuck with you again, Miss Wright. When it comes to people that think you need them and you show them that you don't, they always want to come back, and it's always too late when they try to. Always. It's funny you guys mentioned Tamar because her birthday is the day before mine. Her birthday is March 17th and mine is March 18th. Tamar is batshit crazy, and she also is another one who's been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, but she refuses to get help and she desperately needs it. You know, Jaguar, you and Tamar should team up because y'all both the same type of crazy. Like, for real, I just realized that. The same thing your ass did to me in February, Tamar just did to Funky. And both me and Funky had the same reaction of shock. Like, how the fuck you fuck over somebody who was supporting you? Because when people are not healed and they're fucked up, that's just what the fuck they do. Let's see. Cody said, I always say, does your crazy want to go against my crazy? Because I know I can out crazy. You know what? I cannot with your ass. I cannot. Jason Brown, good to see you. Grand Rising to you. Even though it's 11 my time, Grand Rising to you. Good to see you in the building. Well, you do live in Texas. Hold on, Neptune, where the cost of living is a cheap. Child, no, it ain't in this country. So you should definitely strive to get that. Let me tell y'all something. No, that's baby, that's a damn lie. Where I'm from in Nebraska, the cost of living is cheap. Texas cost of living is not cheap. The average one bedroom out here is at least, and we're talking about an apartment, it's at least $1,800 a month. Anything below that's gonna be some bullshit. I know from experience. So no, it ain't cheap out here like that. Not like that, baby. Jalen, good to see you. We will get to your I will get with you as soon as this live is over and we will get your consultation done. Good to see you. Neptune said, yeah, but a month or two after Funky had mentioned that, he hosted an event at the club for the weekend of Essence Music Festival and he made a public apology to Cloud. Yeah, I know. Like I said, I heard that they were trying to make up, because here's the thing. When you've aligned with people and you did have a connection and one or two people, just like, let me just say for good example, y'all know it was me, Jaguar Maggie, Lord God, how did I forget her name? Natanya Rubin, Odell. As far as content creators, we were all aligned. And when we were all aligned, the shit was cool. Y'all saw it. Our roasts together were funny. Our laughing and joking was funny. The healing was there. Same thing with Murph. You know, everybody that was involved, right? And then Jaguar decided she wanted to try to dominate a Scorpio, which ain't ever finna happen. And wanted to do this little humiliation ritual. If Jaguar were to publicly apologize to me, I would acknowledge it. Now, I would never trust you again. See, Funky's better than me. Once you fuck me over, I'm a Scorpio. I'm done with your ass for life. I would never ever trust you again. But say, for instance, we had a show like theirs. And it was a show that we knew could do good ratings, could get money, and that the fans liked. Absolutely. On a business tip, yeah, you know, let's do that on some business tip. But as a personal relationship, fuck no. Because I am a true all or nothing Scorpio. That's where I'm different from Funky. Once you show me that you full of shit and I can't trust you, I don't care if you beg, plead, cry, snot nose. I just can't trust you. I just can't do it. It literally, that's a real ass Scorpio trait. You shit on us, you fuck us over, you betray us, that's for life. Because now the way we see you is totally different. And our guard is all the way up. And there is nothing you can say or do to get us to put our guard down at all. With Claudia and Funky, they had a very long friendship. You know, they had a friendship outside of TGIF. They weren't just co-workers. Just like him and Al have a friendship outside of TGIF. They weren't just co-workers. So when you're really friends and you have a true friendship, If the person comes back and makes it right, that does make you, more prone to want to give that person another chance. If Jaguar would not have said and did all the fuck shit she did, talking about my miscarriages, my bleeding for the surgery that I need, and my mama, I would have potentially been like, okay, if she come back and apologize, cool. But some shit, while it is forgivable, it's not forgettable. And what Claudia did, while it was fucked up, it wasn't as much of a betrayal as what Jaguar did. So I can see why Funky and Claudia could potentially try to get on the same page, because they did. The three of them were magic on TGIF. That's why we all watched. But the show's been off the air for almost a year. Actually, it has been off the air for a year. I just don't see it bouncing back and being popular. I see it honestly struggling. And then the shit with Joyce. Let me call Joyce out for a minute, because I met her in person too. She a short little mean as hell motherfucker. I'm going to be honest. Joyce is mean as hell. The fact that you guys invited me to the studio, the fact that Claudia introduced me to the CEO of Foxhole, I gave them my resume, gave them my background, that I've worked in network television broadcasting, that I know how to produce shows, I know how to edit, I know how to be a videographer, B-roll specialist, all of that. But when I met Joyce, I was like, and everybody was telling me how difficult she was to work with. I was like, nope. I didn't tell them no, but in my mind, I was like, nope. Because I know me, I'm independent, and I'm good at what I do, and I'll be damned if I'm finna take orders from a little short motherfucker that thinks she's running shit, when the reality is all you do is run the company. You're not the talent. You don't actually make the shows. You make decisions behind the scenes. So if you lose the talent, and you lose especially the comedic factor, then you really fucked yourself. And then on top of that, I love my people. And I understand that when people meet me and I open my mouth here in Houston, they know I'm not from here because I speak proper. Well, I'm from the Midwest. And I speak with my professional voice upon meeting people until I get to know you, and then the hood me comes out. But the way that let me just be real, because my channel's uncensored. The way that studio was so disorganized and unprofessional is why I didn't put energy into trying to go and work for them or with them, because it was ghetto as shit. I'm just being honest. And I know some people here feel like, well, you shouldn't speak. Why not? I'm not vying for a position with Foxhole. I don't give a damn about being on their network, because I was already there. And y'all wouldn't even be worthy of my skill set. Let me just keep it a stack. It was very unprofessional, and everybody's running around talking about each other like most networks. Calling Claudia the prima donna, and even Miss Joyce had a whole lot to say, So it's the fact that they even allowed what Armand did to air. Because one thing I know as an editor is that should have been edited out of that show. That never, ever should have aired. Which means that someone at the network definitely, allegedly, had an issue with Al Reynolds. Because I was like, I met the head of the editing department, and she was ratchet. Because see, I'm an empath clairvoyant, baby. I feel your energy. I hear your thoughts. And I see into you. While she was fake nice, the bitch was a hater. And got an attitude about the way I chose to respond on, I think it was the Shade Room's, some fucking post. And she was talking about how, a black person in Versace, you made it. I said no. Making it is a black person having their own designer company and promoting us. Because again, from the home of Malcolm X, where we celebrate melanin excellence, not you wearing clothing of a man that don't know you and probably don't give no fucks about you. Let's keep it a stack. So when I saw that attitude, and she was snapping in the comments, I said, well, goddamn, I can't have an opinion that differs from yours without you jumping down my throat. I quickly unfollowed. Oh, no, ma'am, I don't want to work with you at all, because if you act like this online, you much worse in person. And I picked up on that when I met her. So when I'm seeing, niggas acting like niggas, no, I don't want to work with you because you're not professional. That's why the fuck that show flopped. And the one person that they counted out bet on himself and became greater than he ever was with y'all punk asses. And that's what the fuck all of y'all get. Straight up. So they can apologize. They can even try it again. I just don't see it being successful, and that's just my opinion. I don't. But I do wish Funky all of the success on his own. He does not need TGIF. TGIF needs him. Let's keep it real. Neptune. Now, in my opinion, I really don't think... Maybe you meant to say Funky should... Wait, I really don't think should apologize. It should have been the opposite. But then again, we have no idea what happened behind closed doors between those two. I'm going to be honest with you. I do know a lot that happened behind closed doors that I'm not going to speak on publicly. Nothing Armand does is uplifting, and that's what I could tune into. Exactly. I've from the first time he came, I was like, this man just sits up here and just bashes people. There's no encouraging. There's no promoting. Hell, at least when I was aligned with Jaguar, I constantly promoted her content. Constantly reviewed her music. Hell, I promoted her music more than Odell. And promoted his shit. And promoted Maggie. And promoted Natanya Rubin. That's where I'm from. That's what we do as black people. We support one another. We uplift. And it's 11:11 on the clock. We uplift one another. This tear down culture on YouTube just is stupid. Now, me having an opinion about, people's behavior, that's one thing. But I'm saying, like, all he does is tear. Like, he was on there talking shit about, Tisa can't speak and spell. When she was at the Diddy hearing. And Tisa had got thick. I was like, was Tisa pregnant? Tisa always was skinny, like she was on the, snowblading, fucking with the that cocaine shit. And then she just all of a sudden got thick. I just was wondering, is Tisa pregnant? But when she was on down to the Diddy hearing, he was talking shit about her. And I was like, well, what did she do to you? It just, it just didn't make sense. That's why I don't like him. I figured you meant to say Funky. I knew you didn't mean to say that. But yeah, Funky don't owe nobody no apology. Good to see you. Thank you to the Rumbo family tuning in. I'm just saying, it amazes me how people be acting like you need them when they are the ones that need you. It's a very amazing thing. So like I said, all these people that call themselves talking shit about me, giving up on me, betraying me, when I tell you they about to see God raise me up in such a way, and the rising is coming from perseverance, walking by faith, and integrity. Speaking of poetic justice, I'm going to address this before I get into the Charlie Kirk of it all. Because like I said, I didn't know until Riri told us on the last live that Murph had passed away, but I had a conversation recently where it was brought to my attention. One of my subscribers said, D, do you remember when the events happened in February and you said that everybody involved was going to get their karma and that some people were going to actually be like death would come about? I ain't gonna hold y'all. I forgot that I said that. And you know, this person told me, they said, I'm torn because I feel bad. I'm in shock to hear that Murph passed away. But he was the main one constantly coming for you when all you did was show support. Then the news about Jaguar and the demons constantly, the night terrors getting worse, the hospitalization, just all the stuff. And I said, you know, sometimes my gifts even scare me. I'm not gonna lie. Because I really did forget that I said that. And that was a prophecy. That was in no way, shape, or form a threat. I saw it. I saw a bunch of coffins. And I saw a bunch of funerals. And there are more that are coming that I'm not even going to publicly say. But when they happen, y'all are going to remember. And I said, you know, when people call themselves coming for me, they really have no idea how spiritually protected I am. And I don't have to ever do anything. All I have to do is leave you in the hands of my ancestors. You know, Official King Primate did that bullshit a couple months ago, and I got that live taken down. I saw funerals there. Multiple familial funerals. Not just him, Mr. or Ms. Robertson, whatever their gender is, I saw funerals there. I also saw funerals for some of the subscribers right here on this channel that don't know that I'm aware of your involvement. Several of y'all who have been MIA in this chat, because we discussed that as well. In particular, 5 of y'all that have been MIA in my chat since the Official King Primate Live, where they did the public identity theft. It amazes me how people think they can hide shit. Empath, clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, psychic medium, and you think you're hiding from me because you ain't participated in my chat, but you always catching the replay and want to tell me some shit after the fact. All I'm going to say is what I always say, my prayer of protection, that any energy rising up against me shall fall by the wayside immediately and be destroyed. And that chaos and confusion will come about your life, and death and hell will follow your own evil intentions back to you, meaning everything you say and do is being reversed back to you. You should really be careful how you handle the true chosen. Or as my good sis, shout out to Mercy, says, be careful of me. Not because of me, but because of the protection that I have. It would behoove you to keep my name out your mouth, because I will never ever bring you harm. I don't do dark santeria. I'm not a dark witch. I don't do any of that. I'm a high vibrational high priestess. I am a light worker. My job is to bring healing. But I'm also a Scorpio. And just as much as I am love and light, I'm also death and demons. And see, people have misunderstood that when I've said that before. What that means is that even the demons believe and tremble. So that means that if you call yourself coming against me in any way, shape, or form, angels of light and dark protect the chosen. I bet y'all didn't know that shit. Touch not my anointed, do my prophet no harm. That's a warning from the spiritual realm to leave the chosen alone. Because you could very well invite your own demise by coming against us. Not the false prophets or the false prophetess, the true chosen. And some people's dharma can and will be death. Because when the ancestors warn you and tell you to stop RC 117, and you don't, every negative thing you've spoken comes right back to you. I'm aware of what you thought I wasn't. I told you that that shit was going to happen to you. It's happened. And now you're in a state of confusion and depression because of your participation. How you were the one that gave me the receipts about Murph and y'all little group phone calls and chats. All of y'all's plans to plan February 9th with Jaguar and Grace. All of y'all involved. I told you what was coming. I did forget that I warned about the deaths. Now I remember. The spiritual realm is nothing to play with. I don't even play with it. Miss Williams, good to see you, my love. Just now seeing your comment. I don't even play with it. So I'm just saying, I'm gonna be honest, I don't give no fucks about Maggie. I don't. I really don't. I hope that that bobbleheaded motherfucker heals. Tenfold, exactly. Oh, yeah. Yeah. RC117, Ralph Calderon, since you didn't have my name all up in your mouth and you've been trolling everybody's channels talking shit, Ralph is the one that sent me the receipts. Y'all need to go back and watch my lives. I showed those receipts months ago. After he called himself betraying me on Ralph the Mushmouth channel and on Official King Primates and everybody else's, went on Stone Paxson, he trolled everybody's channel he could because I exposed him for giving me the receipts. He was involved in the group calls and the group chats, and the ringleader was Murph. And I shared screen and showed y'all the receipts. That's why he was bad-mouthing me on Stone Paxton's channel, because I showed the receipts on his motherfucking ass. The main one that was calling me all the time to check on me after Jaguar did that fuck shit on February 9th. The main one. D, I can't believe, he was calling her all types of bitches and cunts and saying that she deserved to die and she's a horrible mother and she's a slut. Just talking cash money shit. Trying to get me to, join in. I'm not joining in because I already knew what was coming for her spiritually. And even though she did the bullshit she did, I know that them demons ain't let up on her ass. So all I have to do is no longer give you energy, because my presence is your protection. I'm connected to source. When you betray me, you don't come against me. You come against the Most High God within me. Period. That's why you constantly come to my channel for healing. That's why you still watching my channel, Jaguar. Because you couldn't get that healing nowhere else. You chose to align with the dark. You chose to align with Baphomet. You chose to align with the darkness of the industry and Jay-Z and Diddy and all of them. You chose that. The wages of sin is death, spiritual and natural. Woe unto them that offend even the least of mine. It would be better that they had a noose tied around their neck and be plunged to the depths of the sea. Scripture by Yeshua, the true Christ, a whole thug. So now everybody that was involved in that shit, everybody, that shit has come around tenfold. And unfortunately, that's not going to be the only death before the end of 2025. I do still send healing to his children because I know what it's like to lose a father. But let me keep it a stack. Murph was the ringleader behind that shit. He was the orchestrator of February 9th. And I showed y'all the receipts. Remember when he said he was going to burn me? But who's still standing? Let that be a lesson to all of y'all that still got my name in your mouth. Let that be a lesson. I don't have to wish shit on you. I don't wish death on anybody. In fact, I prayed for Murph. Just like I prayed for Jaguar. Because people who are evil need healing. But when you call yourself coming against me, especially you, Ralph Calderon, RC117, you know, you played the role of the depressed, suicidal. D, thank you for helping me heal. Thank you for prophesying to me. Thank you for helping me to forgive my mother. And then you went and talked so much shit about me when all I did was show you nothing but support and love from a spiritual place. And now your life went exactly how I told you it was going to. And I'm not mad at you. Just like I'm not mad at Jaguar. And I was honestly sad when I heard that Murph died. I was shocked, actually, to hear that. But the reality is, this recent conversation reminded me that poetic justice is real. Just like with Charlie Kirk, because he is the subject for tonight. Sir, you was talking all that shit about trans and LGBTQ people and how they need to be put to death and they need to be dealt with like the men did in the 50s and 60s. They were buck-breaking gay people. They were buck-breaking gay people and doing conversion therapy. And right when you were talking shit about how trans and LGBTQIA people don't deserve the right to guns, you got shot in the neck. Some people's poetic justice is death. And I kept telling y'all in 2024 that 2025 is the year of uncovering. And that people who have, you know, hidden behind false images and facades would be exposed. You cannot sit up here and speak for God and say what God's order for sexuality is when God is an omnipotent spirit that has no humanity. These rules are what mankind, let's be honest, specifically Freemasons in high-ranking places have laid out. And most, I would say 98% of men that are homophobic have all been revealed to have been down low or to have suffered some sort of sexual abuse by a male as a child, which is why they grow up to become homophobic and transphobic because of some unhealed trauma in their childhood. So it amazes me how people feel like they're so holier than thou. Because you married a woman and had 2 children doesn't mean that you didn't have allegedly down low relationships with men behind closed doors. I mean, let's be real. You were besties with President Grab him by the pussy, who has publicly, you know, made it known that he has an affinity for teenage girls. Not alleged. He said the shit out of his mouth. The whole president said if Ivanka wasn't his daughter, he would date her. A video circulated on Instagram that I'm going to edit and upload where a young lady said that the president, when he wasn't president, he asked for her and he knew she was 13 and he said that he wanted her because she looked like his daughter. That's righteous. But people who are attracted to those of the same sex or both sexes like me or are trans are not of God. But you got shot in the neck talking shit about the very people. You know, I'm just saying. It just amazes me how people act like they're so fucking holier than thou and be full of shit. I'm just saying. Neptune said, you've been gone for a long time because D has cut. Oh, I've been cut him off. Yeah, you need to go back and watch them lives, Miss Williams. Go get caught up. Cause that was shit. That was what, back in, the events went down in February. The last time I had a conversation with RC117 was the end of February. So it was March when I first learned of the depths of the planning for February 9th. They had been planning that since December. And that was when Jaguar and I were getting the closest, when we were talking a lot offline. And unfortunately, I was confiding in her, and now I regret ever confiding in her. But when RC117 sent me those screenshots, you know, he called me crying, saying that he felt guilty because he had been involved in multiple group chats, in multiple group texting conversations, multiple group calls. It was him, Murph, Nick Mountain Goat Productions, Plotter, Steph, and Dragon X. And they had all been communicating with Jaguar and Grace to plan the events of February 9th. When all of these people, all I did was support them. Because unlike them, I'm not two-faced. I'm real as fuck. And I kept saying over and over, because they're like, well, how did you not, if you're psychic, how did you not know? I knew that. Why do y'all think I kept saying that I'm loyal until you're not? I kept saying that damn near every live. I didn't want to believe the shit they kept showing me in the 5D. I didn't want to believe that these people who I did nothing but pray for and support would be that fucked up, but they were. And now everybody's. And every last one of them tried to come back in my life, including Jaguar and Odell. Sending emails, trying to strike my channel. Then after that, talking about, well, you know, I feel like we should have a conversation. Then trying to get Nafisa to get Ralph the Mushmouth to get me on his channel for the town hall. Then sending Ayasha to try to get me to be. When I'm done with you, again, I'm not like Funky and Cloudy Claudia. When I'm done, I'm done. I'm a real ass Scorpio. I forgive you. I pray that you heal. But being online, no, not at all. Because once you show me who the fuck you are, I believe you the first time. I don't need to go through cycles with your ass too old for that shit. You show me once your ass is on some betrayal shit, I'm gonna believe you, and I'm gonna leave you right where you had me fucked up at and never pick your ass up again. And people say, well, you know, Scorpios hold grudges. No, we don't. Here's the thing. And again, shout out to my good sis, Goddess Mercy. I love when I do get a chance to catch her lives, because she said one thing about Scorpios, the reason we have a bad rap for holding grudges, it's not that we hold a grudge. It's that we would never do that shit to your ass because of how loyal we are. So in our mind, it's the audacity for you to do that shit to us. And then think we're going to trust you again. Once you break my trust, I will never trust you again. I don't care. You can cry, boo-boo tears. It's a wrap. So that goes for Jaguar. That goes for Odell. That goes for Maggie. Grace. All of y'all that have my name in your mouth. That goes for all of y'all. Now, Natanya Rubin, I didn't really have no issue with her outside of her mods telling me that I guess she felt some type of way about me being too vulgar. Baby, I'm me and you're you. I don't do the religious holier than thou bullshit. Most people that act like that aren't like that for real. That's why my channel's called Just D Show, raw and uncensored. And if I decide I want to speak on some Scorpio Just D Show after dark shit and talk about, and I'm still celibate to this day, but talk about my sexual experiences with men and women, talk about when I was in the lifestyle, talk about when I was exploring BDSM and kink. I'm a grown ass woman. If y'all don't like that shit, you ain't got to tune in. And I don't give a fuck if you unsubscribe, because unlike Jaguar, I don't care about algorithms. I don't. Fuck YouTube. For real, I don't care. I'm not looking for a come up on this platform. I'm only looking to be heard. That's why I started my channel. Before any of y'all trolls and real rejects of YouTube showed up on my channel. Because again, all of y'all came to me. Jaguar found me. Stone Paxton found me. Natanya Rubin found me. Jonathan Hay. Like, y'all all found me. I didn't come looking for y'all. My channel ain't never even been about this shit, other than me exposing the industry. That was why I supported Jaguar. On Storm Monroe's channel, Stormisha Bussy Alize Jenkins, since 2018. Because I thought she was like me, a truth teller. But nah, she's just full of shit. So it's just, you know, it amazes me when people want to sit up here and clout chase off my channel, but then still talk shit when all I did was support y'all. And even when it came to Murph, when he did that bullshit where he was in my chat, you know, starting negative conversations and got an attitude because I took everybody's wrench. Well, I took everybody's wrench because it's my fucking channel. And if I see you not supporting, you don't deserve a wrench. You know the one person that didn't get an attitude? Andrew. He asked why. He didn't get an attitude. Murph got an attitude. Joy got an attitude. Sister Shonda didn't get an attitude. She just became distant. Nick hit me up and was like, you know, what happened? And again, all of them people are from Sean Atwood's channel. They were all Atwooders. All of them. Maggie, Plotter, Dragon X, Murph, Nick Mountain Goat Productions. All from Sean Atwood's channel. And oh, let me speak on him real quick, because Sean, I don't know why the fuck you, Courtney Burgess, and Jaguar keep popping up in my suggestions unless y'all are trolling my Instagram, which is weird, because I don't fuck with none of y'all. I called out Shane for his racist rhetoric on Maggie's channel when we were all aligned, when, Rocco Fowler came on there with the whole Confederate flag shit, and I lit his motherfucking ass up on live from the home of Malcolm X. We don't tolerate racism at all. Shane was your producer, Sean Atwood. I don't know why, because who the fuck has a producer for YouTube? Roro, who I respected, white-splained Shane's behavior when Shane brought his I'm a white supremacist looking ass energy on Maggie's channel and tried to belittle her on her own fucking channel like a white supremacist does. And Sean, again, these people who grouped together to plot and plan the attack of February 9th all came from your channel. And you are best buddies, for all I know, butt buddies, allegedly, with Courtney Burgess, who's very close with Jay-Z. See how that works? Y'all think I'm Y'all think I'm as stupid as y'all look? Like I don't know Jay-Z and Diddy and Clive Davis send all you motherfuckers to my channel, especially Jaguar. because she popped up in October. And I'm going to bring up the screenshots from the Satanic Ritual Calendar to talk about this Charlie KIRK situation. She popped up right when I was exposing Jay-Z's Do As Thou Wilt, Aleister Crowley clothing line and the Satanic Ritual Calendar. But every time she'd be on panel with me, her and Odell, and I brought that calendar, she jumped her ass off my channel and off panel every time. You think I don't know that they sent all y'all motherfucking asses to my channel to be on this bullshit, thinking y'all was gonna fucking do a mind MK Ultra on me to get me to stop talking about this shit? You think I don't know that Sean Atwood has connections to Jay-Z and Diddy and Clive? It's just a coincidence that all these people were doing group calls and group chats, plotting and planning for months. And now look at where the fuck they all at. Ironic. And yeah, you're right, Cody, that too. Because RC117 had told me on the phone that he, wasn't gay, he was bisexual, and he had an attraction to me, and I didn't respond. And I told him that I didn't see him that way. Yeah, apparently Murph died. I just found out on the last live when Riri told me in the chat. I had no idea. Apparently he passed away in July. I didn't know that. And like I said, regardless of what they did, I actually felt sad when I found out he died and prayed for his kids. Because I'm not a piece of shit like the rest of them were. Right. Yep. I was honestly surprised because I don't be on YouTube to know all of that. Riri is the one that she let us know. Yeah, she told us that on the last live. Right. And this is a lesson for everybody that was involved in that shit. I kept saying there were going to be funerals behind that. And when I guess he was going off, or calling himself going off, because see, a lot of y'all weren't there. It wasn't just Jaguar doing the public humiliation ritual. It was like a chain of it. She did it on her channel. She did it on Odell's channel. Then she went to Maggie's channel. And when she got to Maggie's channel, on panel was Jaguar, Maggie, Murph, and Grace. She tried to bring Odell into it, and Odell was like, don't bring me into this. At least he had enough sense to bow the fuck out. But on his channel, him and Jaguar were talking Cash Money shit, and she kept being disrespectful. And I was just surprised. I was like, what the fuck's going on? And I'm just asking questions, trying to figure out why the fuck she just went off on me on her channel and was hollering and screaming like a psychopath. And then I wasn't yelling while yelling, because again, that's what people with bipolar disorder do. But not only that, Murph continued on a daily basis to drag me for filth on Maggie's channel every day for weeks. For weeks. Really for months. For like the next 2 months, he did that bullshit. And I just decided after I addressed it to just stop giving it energy, because my ancestors kept showing me what was coming. I saw 5 funerals. Unfortunately, he was one of the 5. And I didn't know that he had cancer. I heard Maggie, when she called herself trying to bully me, talking about Murph has a lump. And I asked him, because on that panel, I was on panel with them trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. And I said, wait a minute, Murph, are you sick? I said, why didn't you tell me that? I'm a 2-time thyroid cancer survivor. I said, if you're sick, even after they did that shit, I prayed for him right on Maggie's channel. If y'all remember that shit, put a Y in the chat if you was in that damn live on her channel. I prayed for him right then and there. And they had just drugged me for filth on Jaguar's channel. And I still prayed for him. When I decided I was done with that whole entire situation, I cut my energy off from everybody. Next thing I know, Maggie's coming back trying to apologize. She keep tagging me in videos. Riri's telling me, Maggie really wants you to go on her channel. She wants to apologize. No, that bitch can bring her fat ass to my channel and apologize. You said all this shit publicly. Come to my channel and apologize. If not, I'm not fucking with you. Period. Then all the followers that left my channel started coming back. D, we're sorry. We realized what they did to you was wrong. How come y'all didn't realize that shit was wrong on February 9th and the following days after that? Because y'all are followers. You're sheep. You'll follow a false prophetess off a damn cliff. When it was all said and done, I decided to take my power back. I stopped responding to all of their little negative lies. And I just decided to pull all of my energy into myself. Just like Funky Dineva did. When he said I'm a bet on myself, I decided, you know what? Fuck all of them. They need me. I don't need them. They need me to be relevant. I don't need them. That's how come I didn't know he even died, because I don't pay attention to none of their channels. Apparently, Riri said she saw it on Lady Letitia's channel. I don't watch her either, because Lady Letitia is two-faced as fuck too. She had her bitch ass in the chat with RC117 on Official King Primates Live talking shit about me. And bitch, I ain't never did nothing but supported your ass. Hell, the first time I met her motherfucking ass on Maggie's channel, she was telling me that she was being tormented by demons, and I prayed for her then. I didn't even know her. I prayed for her live on Maggie's channel and gave her a bunch of protection scriptures. See, this is what's crazy, is all these people that I prayed for try to prey on me, and now look at where the fuck they at. It's real crazy. It's real crazy. Yeah, Murph was definitely the ringleader of that. And what I did is I said, whatever he has going on, because I knew it was more to it than just him being upset about me comparing Blue Ivy to Kathy White, and you shouldn't be talking about kids. I said, Murph got to be going through something, because he ain't never just tripped like that until RC117 sent me them screenshots that they have been talking shit about me behind my back since December, y'all. Group calls, group chats, Murph talking about I'm a fake psychic, when Nafisa said right on my own channel that all the shit he called himself predicting for her didn't come true, but everything I told her manifested, and it even helped her heal her relationship with her younger sister. That's why I still don't even understand why Nafisa started acting funny, because all I did was even help you. Same with RC117. It's like I use my gifts to help people heal, and then when they slip into their own unhealed energy, then you want to turn on me the same way they turned on Christ. Christ was nothing but walk in love and was crucified by the very people that he healed. But it is very unfortunate that he passed away. It is. However, he was the ringleader of all that bullshit. And I said, the only thing I can think of is Sean Atwood had to have orchestrated this, because again, they're all from his platform. I met them on his channel through Jaguar. All of these people I met through my association with her. Never heard of Sean Atwood in my life. Never heard of Maggie. Definitely never heard of, Nick or Murph, because they're not content creators. They were just trolls. Never heard of these people. I met them all through her. and her connection to Sean Atwood when she called herself bringing me into the family. Well, D, make sure you go support Sean Atwood. Y'all remember that? Every time I went live, before I talked about my own subject, if y'all remember me pulling up Jaguar's channel, Odell's channel, Sean Atwood's channel, Roro's channel, Natanya Rubin's channel, Maggie's channel, Ayasha's channel, the new channel that they had started, the Upliftment Movement, the Jaguar Right Show channel, every live, I promoted them. I don't know what psychosis Jaguar's under to be telling people I never support her. Bitch, I supported you more than I did my own shit. The fuck you mean? Because that's how Scorpios support. That's how we show up. Just like everybody else y'all see me support on my platforms. Shout out to the Freestyle King Little Flip. Shout out to Up Above Entertainment. Everybody I fuck with, I support. Period. That's just who the fuck I am. So it's very unfortunate that that happened. Because I don't wish death on people, but I know I saw 5 funerals. And 3 of those funerals are content creators that were involved in the events of February 9th. The other 2 are subscribers that betrayed me that are going to end up, unfortunately, unaliving themselves. And I'm not going to reveal any of their names. I'll tell you when it happens. I'll confirm it then. Yeah, get caught up, my love, and congratulations on your education. The up until the date of death, I had no idea what Charlie Kirk was or was even crazy or is that. No, because I ain't gonna lie, I never knew who the fuck he was either. That's why I did research on him, and that's why I decided to do this live tonight talking about him. Up until the day of his death, I had no idea who Charlie Kirk was, and what's crazy is that when I was talking to my dad about it, my dad told me that Charlie Kirk had a headquarters here in Arizona and lived out here too. I want to be surprised if I ran into him when I was out in public, because now that I think about it, his face does look familiar. Wow. I'm going to start to keep tally on all of your predictions that have come true. D, gotcha, my good brother. I wasn't in that live, but I saw the playback, and yes, I remember that. That's crazy, because after that, Jaguar lost me out. She lost a lot of people as subscribers. Miss Williams said, wow, I thought Lady Whatever was basically new to YouTube, and it was on her channel that I learned about Maggie's channel. She comes across like a nice old lady. That's what I'm saying, man. She and Jaguar had told me she was fake as fuck, and I don't know why I can't remember Buddy's name that was in our group chat. The one from Canada, the dude that did the editing. I forget his fucking name. And you know what? Shit, I cannot remember his name for the life of me. But I'm going to publicly apologize to him right now, because he tried to warn me about Lady Letitia, and me and him got into it because I felt like he was being disrespectful to her because she had come into my chat, and I was like, you know, we're not going to disrespect on my channel. And he like went off on me, and I'm like, bruh, like, you got a wrench and you being disrespectful. Like, just like when Archangel Michael came in the chat and Cody snapped on him, and I was like, fam, we're not gonna, you know, be disrespectful. But he tried to warn me. He said she was a troll, and he said that she had been talking shit about Maggie, and I was like, man, that's between her and Maggie. She ain't never been disrespectful to me, so, you know, we not gonna do that. But it wasn't until the official King Primate live a few months ago, and I seen her punk ass in the chat with RC117 talking shit about me, and I was like, I know this bitch ain't in this motherfucking live talking shit. See, they didn't even know I was watching because I was screen recording, and I'm suing him as we speak. Because actually what he did is a criminal act. They were laughing when I said I reported him to the FBI for criminal, for cyber crimes. Y'all notice they've been real quiet. Because from what I was told, they were contacted by the FBI for that. But yeah, I was surprised to see Lady Letitia kikiing and talking shit about me with RC117 in that chat. I was like, wow, another one I prayed for, talking shit. These are people who are seeking relevancy on other people's platform because they're not relevant on their own. That's why she kept joining Maggie's lives every time me and Jaguar was on panel with Maggie. That's why every time Jaguar was on panel on my channel, she was always in the chat. She's just this nice older lady. No, she's a clout chaser, just like Maggie. The sad part is she's she's one of the geriatric real rejects of YouTube looking for relevancy on platforms because, again, she's no different from Claudia. She's fake as fuck. And for whatever reason, my ancestor will not let me remember this guy's name. And me and him talked all the time in the family chat on Instagram. And regardless, if you're watching, I publicly apologize to you because you was right about that bitch. And no, I don't want to ever... Like, she was trying to get me on her channel. Maggie was trying to get me on her channel. Like I said, Nafisa was trying... All these people... Look, y'all, I don't want nothing to do with none of y'all. I do hope all of you heal. Especially the ones whose funerals I see coming. I really do. And regardless of what Murph did, I do pray for his children because I know what it's like to lose a father. He had young children, and that's very sad. But again, some people's poetic justice is death. And that's out of my hands. Keep telling people, once you in the hands of my ancestors, I mean, it's ain't shit I can do. Like, you got to deal with them. My ancestors are ruthless. They're not like me. Y'all got to remember some of my ancestors are slaves, you know. Speaking of that, let's get on Charlie Kirk. Let's talk about Mr. Racism, Mr. Transphobia, Mr. Homophobia. These things that this man has said change my perspective of him. You know, I was all empathetic, and now I feel like, you know what? I feel like that was the ancestors taking care of some trash. She said, yeah, Nafisa confused me because you helped her to connect with her dead mother and grandmother. By the way, that was the very first time I was on your live. Exactly. And she came back a couple months ago and said that she had checked Murph. And she's like, I went on Maggie's channel and I publicly confronted Murph and Maggie, and I told them that Murph was a liar and that what you said was real, and you helped me heal my relationship. You know, what you told me helped heal my relationship with my younger sister, and we've been doing better, and I was so happy for her. And then when Unapologetically Black kept saying shit that I felt was disrespectful, maybe I guess they're friends, she became MIA. And the next time she was in the chat, she was trying to get me to go on Ralph's channel because Jaguar was on there. And like, well, you know, Jaguar wants to make things right and she wants to apologize. Jaguar and Odell have my phone number. They have my email. Motherfuckers tried to strike my channel. That's the last time I communicated with them. He took down the strike. Because I didn't take down none of our lives. Plenty of lives where Jaguar publicly gave me permission to use her images, to review her music. I helped her. I positively promoted her. And I did that analysis of Storm Monroe. Didn't ask for money. I did that for me because I've been following Storm since 2016. And I just couldn't believe he would do some fuck shit like that. But looking back, both of them is full of shit. She's just as full of shit as he is. But I think about all of the support, the way I give and support. These were lessons for me. That my loyalty is only reserved for those who deserve it. It's that simple. And if people can come to my channel and get healing and then betray me, well then, stay the fuck away. It's that simple. But I know you missed this channel, Jaguar, because one, you've been coming up in my energy daily, and it's getting annoying, quite honestly. It really is. It's just like, leave me the fuck alone. You keep coming in my dreams. You keep channeling. Look, if you missed the healing here, just admit that shit. You got too many voices in your head, and I can hear them. Legion is fucking with you. Every night, starting at 2:45 a.m., you get tormented. And I used to always pray for you and go into spiritual warfare for you. I did it plenty of times, live on my channel and on yours, and off of YouTube. All the times you would call me, D, they're attacking me, I will go into prayer for you. Mercy had told me one day, she said, Jaguar's lucky to have you. And she started crying. She said, I wish I had a friend loyal like that would pray for me and go into spiritual warfare for me. She's like, don't ever let nobody make you feel like you're not deserving. That's why I got so much love for Mercy. Even at times where I may not understand her, I got a lot of love for Mercy. Because I learned a lot from her, from watching her channel. But when she said that to me, it really touched my heart. Because that really is how I am. Unfortunately, some people have seen my heart and have chosen to abuse it. And I'm the kind of person that I know my worth. I don't care what my circumstances look like to other people. I don't care that I'm going through a transition. People keep thinking, oh, she's not worthy, she this, she that. I done had people treat me like shit, calling me a broke bitch, calling me all of this stuff, not knowing that I got multiple conditions I need surgery for that have led to me having to, restart over. But one thing I definitely am is powerful, and above all of that, loyal as fuck. Every Scorpio is. We are loyal until you're not. And we don't switch up because you do. We just cut you off. See, people, when they get used to how we love them and we pour into them, and then we take that shit back, oh, it always fucks with them. It always does. Because they're not expecting that. It's like, damn, you were showing me all this love and now it's just like dead. Well, because spiritually you are dead to me. That connection is dead. It can't, there's no, resurrecting a dead connection. It's dead and moving on. But y'all are witnessing exactly what I told you in February was going to happen. And there's going to be 4 more before the end, or by the end of 2025. And it's going to be sad. I ain't even going to hold y'all. It's going to be sad. It really is. But that is the path that they chose. Everything in life is a choice. What you focus on, you give your power to. If you're always focused on betraying people and being fucked up and having evil intentions, like when they sent that strike, I remember I sent an email. I said, there's really got to be something wrong with both of y'all to wake up on some evil ass shit, on some evil. You sent a strike to my channel, Odell Villalobos, at 7:24 a.m. knowing damn well that was some bullshit. I was like, I told him, I said, I swear it's like y'all just thrive off of drama, which means we're definitely not aligned if that's the frequency you're on. But when we were aligned as an online family and we were praying together, y'all remember that? When we were praying together. We were a lot more powerful then. And then here comes people on demon time, forgetting that scripture in the Bible that says, thou believest there is one God, thou doest well, even the demons believe and tremble. You do realize that I have dominion over your demons. I can command your demons to consume you. Your demons actually have to bow down to the Most High God within me. Even the demons believe and tremble before the presence of God. So while you're on demon time, my vibration is here, yours is there. You can't even reach me, but I can reach yours. And if I was truly a dark witch, I would never even pray for your healing. I would pray for them to consume you. So be very careful how you handle God's chosen. Be careful what you dabble in the spiritual realm, because you're not prepared to deal with my spiritual protection. I've been told y'all that. Now you see it. Nick's channel, if Murph would have had a channel, you probably would have supported his channel when it line. I remember promoting Nick's channel, and I remember when she kept asking me to, just like Joy did. D, I'm trying to get to so many subscribers. She got her subscribers, betrayed me, and did. And then harassed me like a psychopath. Blocked her on Instagram. She started trying to fuck with me on YouTube. Blocked her on YouTube. She found me on Facebook. Blocked her on Facebook. She kept texting me. Blocked her texting me. She started emailing me. Bitch, go get help. That's some psychopath shit. I don't even know you. Well, that's fucked up, D, because I supported you. And motherfucker, I supported you for free. Y'all do realize that people get paid to promote. Promoters get paid. I promoted all of y'all for free. Never asked you for a dime. Didn't have to do it. Even the people I promote now, I've never asked them for money. Even though I should be getting paid, I've never asked them for money. Why? Because I support you. If you inspired me, if I believe in you, if you've ever, fuck with me, show me love or show me good respect, hey, I'm going to promote you. I'm a digital marketer. I should be getting paid. But off the strength of these are supporters, no, they were trolls posing as supporters. So I learned a lot of valuable lessons. You're welcome, my love. Jay, that was his name. Jay, thank you. I could not remember that boy's name. I ain't gonna hold y'all. He was the only one that had my back on February 9th. When I fell asleep, and we was in the family chat on Instagram, he was like, D, better wake up, because defend yourself. And I'm like, I'm waking up like, defend myself. Ain't we supposed to be talking about Giovanni? And then I go back on the panel and Jaguar just going in on me about Murph. And bitch, how the fuck you think you gonna check me about me checking a motherfucker on my channel? See, her need to dominate everybody comes from that shit she did in the BDSM. She was dominatrix, but baby, first of all, I'm a dominant female. You're not ever finna dominate me. And two, it's my channel that you didn't have shit to do with. Trying to act like she everybody's boss and ain't paying nobody shit to support her motherfucking ass. Yeah, that was his name. Thank you. It backfired on Odell, though, because Jag found out he told you about her going to Mar-a-Lago. Right. Because when they sent the strike, and I figured that was her emailing me under Odell's email address. I could tell by the way she was talking that wasn't him. Talking about with your troll moves and we'll remove the strike. The fact that you said we Gave it away. That clearly wasn't Odell. Talking about will remove the strike. If you could tell us how you knew about Mar-a-Lago. I said, Odell, you told all of us, and then you called me directly outside of the family. Let me put that out there. We had the family conversation, and then you called me directly and said, D, do you think it's a good idea for Jaguar to go to Mar-a-Lago? I said, no, I don't. I feel like it's a setup. Because she knows too much. We know that Trump's name was on Diddy's fucking list, just like it was on Epstein's. Not allegedly. There's evidence of that. He's like, well, don't you think it would be a good look? You know, the president, I said, the president don't fuck with the black community. The black community don't fuck with him. Only Uncle Tom's fucking with that motherfucker. No, it's not a good idea. I said, it's definitely not a good idea for her to go by herself. If she goes, you need to go with her. I was honest. No, not a good idea. When I told her that, crickets. What no more you talking all out the side of your neck because you didn't know that your nigga called me while he said you was asleep. And he had did that shit a couple of times. And I kept asking him, where is sis? Oh, she sleep. Okay, well, then why the fuck is this nigga calling me without her? I don't fuck with you. I only know of you because of her. And then the whole him trying to run interference between us because I guess he felt like we were getting too close. See, all of that just stupid shit. When I really when all that shit went down and I really stopped and thought about it, I said, people are not prepared for my loyalty because in a world of fake motherfuckers, it's rare to find someone who's truly loyal. And when they do, they don't know how to handle that shit. They always fuck it up. Then y'all wanted to contact me talking about, well, I think we should all, try to come back together. And I think we should all have a meeting and we should all just air out our grievances. Baby, I said what I need to say publicly. There ain't shit for us to talk about privately. Because guess what? Y'all had all these conversations publicly. And even the behind the scenes shit that Murph was the ringleader of, y'all still publicly discussed those things on each other's channels. So if y'all want to make it right, I haven't blocked any of you on my YouTube. I haven't blocked any of you. Well, outside of Grace, I did block her on Instagram. But I haven't blocked Jaguar or Odell. You want to make it right? I'm not going to Ralph the Mushmouth's channel. I'm not going to Maggie's channel. I'm not even going to y'all's channels. You want to make it right? Bring y'all asses to my channel. You can drop down in the chat. I'll even give you the link if you want to apologize. Outside of that, as far as I'm concerned, we ain't got shit to talk about. Rest in peace to Murph. May his children find healing and comfort. But let that be a lesson not to fuck with me the way y'all did. And Jaguar, them demons ain't gonna stop fucking with you because of the shit. Not only the shit you did to me, but the shit you done to other people. Because I'm not the only chosen one that you fuck with. Right, she stole my singing for her AI video. And Nick don't even realize I can sue her for that. While she had her ass talking shit about me on Maggie's channel. Then I heard from other people. I heard from other viewers that Nick has done this to other people. They said she seeks out specifically black women that are trending. She aligns with them and pretends to support them, even with money. And then when they don't agree with her, she tries to bully them. I had random viewers, not subscribers, I had random viewers reach out to me and tell me that shit. And they were like, that's why, we're not surprised she's doing it to you now. She's done this to plenty of people, and she's gonna do it to Jaguar. I tried to tell Jaguar that. I tried to warn her about Sean, about Nick, about all of them. She fell out with All of them, including Murph. Nick never even asked my permission to record my vocals and make that AI video. And the second time she tried that shit, I publicly addressed her and said, I didn't give you permission to record my vocals. That's why I took the video off of my channel, because I'm going to sue her for that. Then whatever other little video she made that I never watched, again, clout chasing. Oh, let me join in the drama so I can get views. You're a non-motherfucking factor, Nick Mountain Goat Productions. Apparently, you've changed your name now to just Mountain Goat Productions. You're still going to get sued. And Nick, you need to be real careful. Spiritually, you need to be real careful, because exactly what I'm speaking about tonight, you were so worried about Merv. You need to be worried about yourself. I'm going to leave it at that. And tried her hardest to convince you that I was a troll in the beginning. She sure did. And you know when she did that, family? When I questioned her about when was the last time she spoke to Bliss Forever, when that whole fraud fundraiser shit was going on with Bliss Forever and Bonnie Ellis, I said, when's the last time you talked to Bonnie Ellis? Her response was, we already gave all that information to Jaguar. I said, I didn't mention Jaguar. Why did you? I asked you specifically, when's the last time you talked to Bonnie Ellis? Because I'm doing an investigation to figure out who the fuck she's all connected to. Nick said that they had talked on Discord. Another reason I don't fuck with Discord. I said, y'all talked on Discord? I didn't even know Nick had a Discord separate from the Discord that Jaguar and them had. And guess what? I was never invited to Jaguar's Discord, even though I was a part of the family. Go figure. That was God's protection. At first, my feelings was hurt. I was like, well, damn, everybody in the family's in Discord but me, because they was in the Discord talking shit about me. That's why my ass wasn't invited. Y'all was in there talking shit about me with Shane, and then Shane came on Maggie's channel talking shit. Go figure. Nope, you made that song on your live the next day, and she came in with an AI music video she made with you singing. Exactly. They be hollering at a woo-tee-woo. Blase blah, he said, she said. Oh my God, shut the fuck up. That was my song, bitch. And then you went and typed some codes into AI and made a music song with no skills, because that takes no skills to do. So yeah, your ass can be sued and will. But again, you were the second in command with Murph doing that bullshit, Nick. I'm going to tell you this, because I know your ass is watching. Protect your mental health. And if you're feeling depressed, get help. Because what I saw coming for you, I don't even want to happen to you. And that's on some real shit. Just like I was hurt to hear about Murph. I keep trying to tell y'all to be careful. You better listen to me when I try to warn you. There has never been a premonition that I have had of a person's funeral since I was 8 that didn't manifest. Not one time. That's how I found out that I had the claircognizant empath. Ooh, and my ancestors is here right now. They not playing about you, Nick. You know why? Because they don't play about me. Everybody involved in the events of February 9th, y'all are going to watch a great fall and a great falling away. And there's going to be more people punching their clock. Thank God I'm a high vibrational that has enough heart to warn you. Take heed to my warning, because it's real. Ms. Williams said, God protects us from the known and unknown. Very true. Very true. Just like this man. Let me pull this up on screen. Just like him. Charlie Kirk's anti-LGBTQ controversies explored, including bizarre insurrection. This is him. Since it doesn't let me share a screen, I took screenshots to present the images. Right-wing activist Charlie Kirk was well known for his anti-LGBTQ stance prior to being fatally shot at a speaking event in Utah, including calling trans people a throbbing middle finger to God. When God has no humanity, God's not male nor female, nor does the Most High God, which is nothing but omnipotent frequency, give a fuck about our human lives or the rules that these people set. Known for his gun rights advocacy as well as his anti-LGBTQ views, Kirk 31 was holding one of his prove me wrong, pause right there. How the fuck you're doing a prove me wrong debate and get shot in the neck during the debate? Kendrick Lamar's song, Poetic Justice. Poetic Justice. If I told you that a flower bloomed in a dark room, would you trust it? That's some poetic justice for your ass. I'm just saying. It is. And I researched, he didn't get shot in front of his children. His children were home with his wife. He got shot in front of students. That is unfortunate. Prove me wrong and you get shot in the fucking neck. Where students are invited to challenge his political opinions at Utah Valley University on Wednesday, September 10th. Let me see if I can bring up the satanic ritual calendar image, because that was 3 days after a satanic holiday. Oh wait, it only lets me do 10 images. So let me delete one. There's a satanic ritual holiday on September 7th. I do believe this was planned. And I do believe he was a sacrifice. And I believe that a member of said community just got tired of his fucking bullshit and decided to take his ass out. Hold on. I gotta find that particular date. Because I took screenshots of the whole calendar. I gotta find where it says September, but I can hardly see this. It would be towards the end of the calendar. Let me see if this is one of the images. Okay. Yep, there we go. Marriage to the Beast, September 2nd, September 7th. Sexual ritual sacrifice. Dismemberment. Now this says infant to 21 female. I would say that a shot in the neck during a prove me wrong event is a sacrifice. 3 days later. Right now it's 12:22 a.m. on the clock. I would say that was probably a sacrifice. 3 days later. I knew it was on there. I knew it was. That's why I researched it. Cody said there is video proof that his security was given military hand signals to the sniper right behind. I tried to tell y'all. I figured that was planned. The killer was a 22-year-old white straight male whose whole family were Trump supporters and was a preacher's son. Wow. Yeah, because he was a huge MAGA supporter. Which is why I chose the picture that I chose for the thumbnail. So yeah. A shot in the neck 3 days after the Marriage to the Beast satanic ritual holiday. In a video, and this was also brought to y'all by Pink News. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat so y'all can actually look at this article yourself, because again, I'm on the mobile version of StreamYard, so it doesn't let me share screen. There's a link. So you can click on that and you can actually pull this article up. These are screenshots from the article. But yeah, in a video seen by Pink News, KIRK was surrounded by audience members on the campus as he discussed trans shooters and mass shootings, an increasing prevalent conservative talking point, when a loud gunshot rang out and he jolted back in his chair, blood pouring from his neck. KIRK was transported to the hospital but later died of his injury. The shooter remains at large, while police describing the incident as a targeted attack on KIRK. Yeah, in my opinion, a sacrifice. And this is him at the event, and notice all the red MAGA shirts. And the shooter was a Trump supporter. Interesting. Charles KIRK has said more negative, disparaging, and misinformed things about the LGBTQ community, namely trans folks, over the years than we can report here in full, but here are some key controversies. KIRK described the LGBTQ plus community as an agenda and groomers. Pause. Just fucking pause. President grab him by the pussy. One of his besties has said out of his own disgusting, filthy ass mouth that if his daughter Ivanka was not his daughter, he would probably be dating her. I mean, if that's not grooming behavior, I don't know what the fuck is. You could just grab him by the pussy. Mr. Besties with Epstein and Harvey Weinstein. Mr. on P. Diddy's 1998 VHS RSVP birthday party tape. Donald Trump, who at the time was a real estate agent, was on that tape. I showed y'all that months ago during a live. All of my lives are still out there. This man is friends with multiple men who have been convicted for sexual abuse. And President Trump has also been accused and has had cases against him for allegedly raping young women. And you want to call trans people groomers? Really, you fucking piece of shit? This is why I don't have no empathy for him. See, I saw a little bit of Funky Dineva's video on his YouTube channel because he posted a clip on Instagram, and he said Charlie Kirk's death is a white people problem. Now, that's Funky's words, not mine. And Funky said, that man is dead and we don't care, because he didn't like black people, he didn't like gay people, and he didn't like trans people. So in Funky's words, he said, fuck him. So me seeing that video led to me doing a little bit more research. And when I started just seeing all this bullshit, and people can get mad at me all day long. This was trash being taken out. This is universal poetic justice. Because people like this are the reason the suicide rate is so fucking high in our community. These holier than thou, Bible thumping, Luciferian based religious ass motherfuckers. When all of y'all religions have foundations in Luciferianism and Freemasonry. But you want to call trans people groomers? while you're besties with all the men who actually have been accused and convicted of grooming and rape and murder, even some of them. So I'm sorry, not sorry. I don't feel empathy for this motherfucker. Now his children, absolutely, because he got little babies. They 2 and 3 years old. Unfortunately, they have to grow up without a father unless their mother decides to remarry. And I ain't gonna hold you. Any bitch that could be married to this trash is just as much trash as he is. Birds of a feather flock together. Perverts of a feather flock together. Racists of a feather flock together. Homophobics of a feather flock together. Transphobics of a feather flock the fuck together. My empathy goes to his children for no longer having a father. But to his wife, I hope you learn a lesson from this. That maybe the fucking bullshit your husband was saying was inappropriate. And how the fuck can you as a woman support that shit? I don't understand that at all. Agenda and groomers, the old conservative dog whistles, and label trans people as freaks. And use the slur, I'm assuming that says tranny, on countless occasions. I'm going to be honest with y'all, I didn't know that tranny was considered a slur. I really didn't know that. He also said being gay was a lifestyle and called for violence against trans folks. So, let me get my funky uneven voice. Is it me? Or is it possible that the heterosexual Christian white young male was possibly paid to carry out an order for the purpose of sacrifice 3 days after the marriage of the beast satanic ritual? You know, this is why TikTok took my live down. Because this calendar has been extremely accurate. And I'm the only one on YouTube with it. I'm the only one on social media that has researched this and has no fear in connecting the dots. Just like Angie Stone's murder, her accident, or in my opinion, her sacrifice, was also March 1st, St. Icodot. I'll show y'all in a minute because I took screenshots of the whole fucking calendar since I can't share screen. So is it me in my funky Dineva voice, or was this a planned ritual? See, these worshippers of Baphomet and Lucifer and Satan are not realizing that the chosen shall prevail. Y'all can sell y'all souls to these deities if you want to. 444 on the live clock. Ancestors, thank you for your confirmation. Those deities always come to collect your soul after they use you. Oh, they'll use you. Then they're going to come collect your soul. This is my opinion, and all of my commentary on my channel is alleged outside of my real life experience and then my experience on this very platform. It's my opinion that this was indeed a satanic sacrifice and that he pissed off the wrong person. That's my opinion. Now, Charlie KIRK, CEO of Turning Point USA, is openly calling for the lynching of transgender individuals. Says that the trans people should be dealt with like men did in the 50s and 60s. Pause. So I have shared with you guys that my maternal grandmother, not my great grandmother, my mother's mother, and my uncle, who served this country and was a pastor who died from COVID virus, that they picked cotton for a living. My mother's brother and my mother's mother. My mother lived during the civil rights movement. My mother grew up in the whites only for colored era. And her childhood friend and her father, who was a Black Panther, a real Black Panther jaguar, who would never kowtow to or fucking kiki to someone like President grabbing by the pussy with your coonin' ass. They lived during that time. The 50s and the 60s were a terrible time for Black people. Black people were still being broke. They were doing the buck breaking, still, according to the Willie Lynch instructions during slavery, and they were still being lynched. Now, isn't it ironic that this man who's close with President grabbing by the pussy would say that trans people need to be lynched? We only know of lynchings in America when it came to Black people. He put his racism on full display here. All in one. Racist, transphobic, homophobic, all in one fucking tweet. So again, this was basura. This is trash. That's my opinion. He was trash. Now I do agree with Funky Dineva when he said, we don't care. Oh no, as a Black person, I no longer care about the fact that you were shot in the neck. That was poetic justice. That was some karma for your motherfucking ass. And like Funky said, he said, I'm glad it wasn't a Black person. I 1000% agree with Funky's perspective on that. I am too. I'm so glad it was a straight heterosexual white male, because you can't blame the rainbow community. You can't blame Black people. No, it was one of your own that took your ass out, because even they knew you was trash, and you were gonna raise them kids to be trash. And unfortunately, if them kids don't get around somebody with some logical sense, they're gonna still be trash, because your wife was your other half. Which means y'all were one. Which means she feels the same way your punk ass felt. So fuck her too. But your kids still have a chance. And my prayer for them kids is that they never become like you. And because they're 2 and 3, they might actually have a chance to not become pieces of shit like your ass. Because at first I was like, damn, Funky, that's kind of heartless, when I seen the title to his video, till I watched his video. And I was like, oh, that's the shit this motherfucker was on. Okay. Let me go research and see who the fuck he really was, because I ain't never heard him. I don't follow Trump supporters because I don't like Trump. Clearly, I don't like that dumbass. Even before he was president, I didn't like his stupid ass. But this motherfucker here, trans people deserve to be lynched, sounds like your ass was itching to lynch a nigga. Sounds like you have participated probably in the lynching of Black people. Sounds like your ancestors probably owned slaves. Then we got the president deporting people and saying they can come back on sponsorships and live on farms and work in farms like my grandmother and my uncle did, picking cotton. They were treated like they were less than. Sun up to sundown, picking that cotton. Sun up to sundown, whipped by the massa. That's a real song by the Sounds of Blackness, one of my favorite groups from the 90s. Sun up to sundown, chains and shackles, no more auction block for me. You're trash, sir. I'm glad you're gone. I don't feel an ounce of sympathy for your life. Only for your children. Because it's people like you that my mother had to be raised by my grandmother and her father and said, gal, if you see a white person, don't make eye contact with them. Because we want you to come home alive. Just look down and say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, and keep walking. That's a horrible way to be raised as a little girl. And y'all, this was in Nebraska, where I'm from. Or up north, as everybody in Houston says. You know, you talk proper like them up north people. Well, I'm from the north, you know. But I'm from the hood in the north. Somebody like his ass, oh, he wouldn't have made it out of North Omaha. I can tell you that right now. If he would have went over to 30th and Ames, over there by the chicken shack, timeout, where all the real hood niggas is at, oh, hell no. He wouldn't have made it out of there alive. Not with that bullshit. You talking about who should have got lynched? It wouldn't have just been a shot to the neck for your ass on North Side Omaha. See, again, we Malcolm X is from there. We have zero tolerance for racism. And we believe in the laying on of hands where I'm from and not on no pulpit. I had an encounter with a Hispanic woman today at this hotel I'm at. I don't know what it is about some of these Hispanic women in Houston that act like they're superior to black women. Not all of them, but some of these out here really carry that we're better than you energy. And I could tell she was going out her way to try to trigger me because I'm black, being discriminatory, telling me that, you know, you can't be in your room while I clean your room. We don't want your security camera on. Bitch, you can kiss my black ass. When ain't none of these other people out here being told to do this shit. And then gonna roll your eyes and you the fucking housekeeping manager and have an attitude and start talking shit about me in Spanish. And that was the third time the bitch did the shit. I know Spanish, motherfucker. Talking about that black girl. Took everything in me to maintain my frequency. Took everything in me to stay high vibrational. Because here is the truth to those of y'all that think y'all better than us. America is built on the backs of slaves. Black slaves. And if it wasn't for us, specifically the black female, who the slave masters raped and then snatched their children from them and made them breastfeed their children. If it wasn't for us, there would not be an America for y'all to have waded through the water to come over to. Let me just quickly speak on this shit, because I'm about sick of this shit in Houston. Because where I'm from, my Hispanic friends don't act like that. My high school homegirls, Cholita and Burrita, they don't act like that. They mamas treat me like I'm one of their kids. And we've been friends since fucking what? Since I was a sophomore. We've been friends over 20 years. They don't act like that. We're all the same where I'm from. We have all encountered racism collectively together. Especially in Nebraska. My brother-in-law is Hispanic. His family came over here through the water. They're all legal now. They've been legal for decades. But what I'm saying to y'all is, with the current president deporting y'all, I don't understand how you have the audacity to act like you're superior than us. I just don't understand it at all. Because you guys are more at risk than we are. I don't tolerate any race behaving with racist, I'm superior than you rhetoric, when every one of y'all racists owe the black people your utmost respect, because the very ground you walk on is running with the blood of slaves. Just like Jill Scott's national anthem that she wrote, she said, "This is the home of the slaves." They lynched black people when I was in high school, y'all. And this motherfucker talking about lynching trans people, then dealing with other minorities, trying to act like they superior. Y'all can kiss my black ass with your tongue out and tell me how the fuck it tastes. That's what I wanted to tell her ass in Spanish and in English. But I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna report her ass. I'm gonna come for your job. Because it's two things. Either y'all was plotting to steal, or you're not documented. Either way, you're not better than me, bitch. I can't get deported. Born and raised in this country. Don't give a fuck if my last name is Rodriguez. That's because of my granddaddy. I don't have to worry about getting deported no fucking where. I was born here. But it's the audacity in our current climate to come with that "we better than you" and then talking shit in my face. Not once, not twice, 3 times. Oh, you got me fucked up. Talking about that black girl and shit in Spanish. Bitch, kiss my black ass. Went the fuck off when I went down to the lobby. I said, you better tell her. Because I've been nice as hell to everybody here. Nice as fuck. Despite issues, I've been nice as hell. But I draw the line on that racist shit. That's where you got me real fucked up. I don't care if you black, white, purple, polka dot. Don't ever act like, don't ever, ever, ever act like you better than me and come at me with that I'm superior shit. Because I'm going to make sure they get rid of your ass. I'm going to come for your job. And fuck around and find out your ass is not documented, I'm calling ICE on your motherfucking ass. That's how, I agree with Funky on that. He said the ones that are anti-black, y'all need to go. The ones that's cool with us, we cool as hell. But when you come with that anti-black energy, I gotta educate you about who the fuck we really are. Because that's what Malcolm did. Jaguar, Miss Amadam, fake ass Black Panther. No, the fuck you ain't. When the last time you educated any of these motherfuckers about who the fuck Malcolm was and what he stood for? You think Malcolm X would have been kissing Trump's ass? No. Malcolm X is the definition of pull up and fuck around and find out. Motherfuckers got me fucked up out here in Houston. Like, y'all, I swear to God, you better stop. Because again, my ancestors are slaves. They will fuck you up. They'll make sure your ass get rid of. I won't have to do shit. But what I will do, I will always report that shit. I'm going to make sure they come for your job. I'm going to make sure you remember who the fuck I was. Had to deal with that bull. And today wasn't even the first day I had to deal with that shit. I said, but today gonna be the last day. I said, don't you have that bitch come back to my room? I said it just like that. I didn't give a fuck. I said, that motherfucker upstairs talking shit about me in Spanish like I can't understand her. And they assume because you black, you don't know Spanish. I know a shit ton of Spanish. Again, my high school homegirls are all Hispanic. They taught me all the cuss words, all the slang, all of that shit. I knew what the fuck she was saying. Talking about, I don't want to go in that black lady's room because she has that camera on. Bitch, and? When you go to damn near anybody's house, they got a fucking ring light. They got a fucking ring camera on the damn doorbell. When you go in Walmart, they got cameras. When you go to the bank, they got cameras. They got cameras on the fucking street. How do you think Google fucking Maps has the street view shit? They got cameras every fucking where. So bitch, do you not have your papers or is you trying to steal? And they're going to keep talking about that black girl and the black chick that works there. I don't want that black girl telling me what to do. Bitch, I can understand you. Entiendo más que habla. Pinche puta. I swear to God, that shit pissed me the fuck off. So all of these racists, all of y'all need to go. I don't care if you white. I don't even care if you black. Unfortunately, there's black people that's damn racist. You know, a bunch of Uncle Tom's, Uncle Ruckus looking asses. All of y'all need to go. By any means necessary. Malcolm X, get the fuck out this country. Or go on and punch that clock and take your rest. Either or, I don't care. Because this type of trash don't need to exist on this planet. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. Don't give a fuck. Motherfuckers want to get mad and unsubscribe? I don't care. I'm so sick of this ignorant ass shit. Talking about we didn't handle shit like we did in the 50s and 60s. No. That's why this shit... I ain't gonna lie. That's why this shit happened to his ass. He was a perfect example of how not to be. And it's unfortunate that under this presidency, these people have this much courage to be this public about it. 222 on the live clock right now. Another angel confirmation. You got the audacity. See what I mean? These people still exist. They are descendants of slave masters and racists. They didn't have the balls to let their true colors show when Obama was in office. Y'all noticed that shit. It wasn't until President Grab 'em by the pussy was in office that all these racists started having the courage to be their true self out loud. But again, notice he's in an environment surrounded with white people that are just like his ass. He could never go to the hood. Not where I'm from. Whether we speak proper or not, they will shoot the shit out your ass in Omaha. You come in there with that racist shit? Nah, it ain't going down. Far as I'm concerned, I'm glad he's gone. Because that's some crazy shit to even say. And what's even more crazy, now that I really think about it, is Elon Musk allowing this shit on X. Says a lot about Elon. Why the fuck didn't his account get flagged? Why didn't this post get flagged and taken down? Trans people should be lynched. Well, looks like you got lynched with a bullet. Here we go. Back in October, ironically, during the Satanist High Holy Day month, KIRK penned a piece for the American Mind in which he discussed trending on X, then Twitter, for claiming the Democratic Party is advancing a culture marked by sexual anarchy. How is LGBTQ plus and trans sexual anarchy? I would say that sexual anarchy is the reason that Diddy is sitting in fucking MDC right now. I would say that sexual anarchy is why Epstein was also in prison and why Ghislaine is still in prison. I would say sexual anarchy is why Ellen has fled the country. Miss Pizzagate, I'm going to show y'all that video this week as well, this weekend. The pizza video, where she specifically called on Harvey Weinstein and Epstein as they were passing out pizza slices. I would say that sexual anarchy is a man saying that he can grab women by the pussy who's now president. I would say that's sexual anarchy. Not people of the same sex having an attraction to one another. I would say sexual anarchy is sodomy, which is forced anal rape. I would say that sexual anarchy is pedestry, the original root word for homosexuality, meaning an adult male having a sexual relationship with a boy. That is sexual anarchy. The sex trafficking and selling of children is fucking sexual anarchy. Children being at all of Diddy's parties is sexual anarchy. A daughter being lusted after by her father, who's now president, is sexual anarchy. Y'all can miss me with this bullshit. Fucking idiot. He defined sexual anarchy using a section from David Englehart's book, Good Kills, which states it is the throwing off of God's sexual order. Pause. God is neither male nor female. God is an omnipotent spirit that I experienced when I died and went to heaven. God has absolutely zero to do with the rules that humankind sets for one another. So for any fucking idiot to speak about God's sexual order is complete and utter bullshit. God has nothing to do with that. And the King James Version of the Bible was written by a Freemason named King James. And I showed y'all that as well on previous lives. This is why I don't fuck with church. This is why I don't fuck with religion. This is why I don't fuck with these types of people. Because they have deluded themselves into thinking that they speak for God. When God is a spirit, energy, frequency, neither male nor female, not human. So maybe they're talking about Baphomet as their God. I don't know. But the Most High God ain't got nothing to do with your sexuality. This is some man-made bullshit. Because from the beginning of the Creator made them male and female. The Creator, not source. Sounds a lot like the Grand Architect that is referenced in Freemasonry. This is also a distraction from the true definition of homosexuality, which is pedestry, which again is the root word for pedophilia. An adult male having a sexual relationship with a boy. Not about same-sex adults consenting, but about adult men lusting after children, using code words like pizza and cheese and hot dog and ice cream and shit. Very disturbing. I'm not even going to finish reading this bullshit because it's just that bullshit. Then we got Charlie Kirk warns the transgender movement is an introductory phase to get you to strip yourself of your humanity to mesh with machines. If you stop being a man, then maybe you can stop being a human being. What I'm getting from all this fuckery he said is that he had severe childhood trauma and that he definitely was sexually abused as a child. Because, I mean, it's such delusional bullshit. It's definitely giving, I've got a lot of skeletons in my closet that I'm not ready to face. This type of shit can only come from unhealed trauma. Because this is just stupid. Machines? Really? Even the look on his dumbass face on this thumbnail says, I'm an unhealed fucking idiot. Just stupid as hell. Stupid as all fucking get out. Meanwhile, you got sacrificed 3 days after a satanic ritual. So, stupid shit. All wrong. Elon disowned his own trans daughter, Vivian, by saying his son was killed by the... Right. This is where him, Elon, align on the transphobia. And that might be why Elon allowed that bullshit to be on Twitter. Because they're on the same frequency of ignorance. So, at this point, like I said, I 1000% agree with Funky Dineva. This is a them problem. I don't care. The black community don't give no fucks about you. We don't care. You're racist as shit. You're homophobic as shit. You're transphobic as shit. I'm glad you're not on the face of this earth anymore. I'm being honest. I really am. I hope your children heal. I hope they don't grow up to be anything like you. I really fucking do. Thank God they are as young as they are. And I honestly hope that when they grow up, they don't even fucking remember your ass. I really do. Because it's horrible to think about another generation of him spewing all this hatred and fucking ignorance. For anyone to speak about lynching in a pleasant way means you're super fucked up. No one deserves to get lynched. Whether due to race, whether due to gender, whether due to sexuality, no one deserves to get lynched because you don't agree with their lifestyle. But what the universe did decide was that it was your time to punch that clock. So it is what it is. That's where I'm at. That's my position on this. Fuck that motherfucker. Like, let me just keep it all the way real. And the fact that your ass was sacrificed 3 days after the marriage of the beast definitely is given planned satanic ritual. He was someone's sacrifice. Next thing we know, we'll hear about some other person coming up after this happened. That's usually always how it goes. Someone gets sacrificed, another person, gains a whole bunch of wealth and shit. Keep it in mind what I previously showed you guys about the Illuminati pyramid. And how the grandmothers at the top of the whole witch pyramid, how they pick a child to be assigned to an Illuminati family at the age of 3. Well, his son is 2 and his daughter is 3. And how someone always gets sacrificed at the time that they're assigned to a family. And it just so happens that how significant the number 3 is in the Illuminati, and how he was sacrificed 3 days after the marriage of the beast. This is why the fuck they don't want my ass on YouTube and TikTok and social media. Because everything I point out lines up. Everything. Completely lines up. And they can call it a conspiracy theory all they want. But, conspiracy theories are conspiracy theories because it's something that hasn't been proven. These dates have been lining up with all the events as of late. They really have. Matter of fact, before I end this live, because I'm about to end it because it is late. And Jalen, I don't know if you're still on. We may have to reschedule yours for tomorrow, hun, because I didn't even plan to go this long. Let me pull up. Of course. They do that bullshit every time I start talking about the calendar. Yeah, because it's late. We'll definitely get it done today, for sure. I'm glad you're still hanging in there. all of a sudden, because I told y'all it does that, what it does is it'll reload, and then when it reloads, it kicks me out. And YouTube, y'all can kiss my ass, because I don't even care if y'all try to take this video down. I'm multi-streaming on Twitch and on Rumble. The shit I'm talking about is real. That's why the fuck they're mad about me putting up this calendar. But actually that helped, because now I can bring up all of the all the screenshots to show this calendar. Because all of a sudden StreamYard just dropped and was like, oops, we lost signal. No, the fuck y'all didn't. No, the fuck y'all didn't. Y'all mad at me speaking the truth and showing the truth. And I'm going to do exactly that. Because this is what my channel is about. It's not about all the other, drama-driven bullshit. It's about showing the fucking goddamn truth. These things, these events that are going on are planned. According to this calendar, all of this shit is planned. The abductions, all these different deaths, all of these, events, according to this calendar, it's planned. So I'm about to, for those that are new to my channel that haven't been on here for the past year, and again, y'all take the time to go back and watch my previous lives. I literally shared screen and showed all of y'all the receipts like I always do. Because the place that we're in right now in spiritual warfare, God is separating the wheat from the chaff. God is separating the true chosen from those that are not. And if I, gave a fuck about algorithms and, subscriber count and all of that, I wouldn't even be speaking on any of this. But this is the purpose of my channel. Now, this is the beginning of the satanic ritual calendar. Let me go to the very first. And y'all make sure to follow me on Rumble, because see, on Rumble they don't do this bullshit. StreamYard and YouTube does this all the time. So even if it kicks me out, I'm gonna just come back. But on Rumble, I don't have to worry about being censored. There is the link to this calendar. ExposingSatanism.org/satanic ritual calendar. Again, I discovered this calendar in 2018 when I was researching SRA, which is satanic ritual abuse, satanic sexual ritual abuse. SRA and SSRA, because again, I was raped while being a member at Christ Apostolic Temple, the church that I now identify definitely as a cult. And unfortunately, my mother is a member there and I love her to life, but she wasn't there when I was a member and I was raped. Because I could not for the life of me understand how rape and molestation can go on in churches and everyone acts like they just sweep the shit under the fucking rug. That's how I came across this calendar. And it even has a scripture on there, am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? Exposing Satanism and witchcraft. And the calendar starts January 1st, New Year's Day. And that's the Druid feast day. So this calendar shows the date of the satanic ritual celebration, the holiday, what the celebration is, the type of ritual, the usage of the ritual, and the age of the victims. And as y'all can see, on January 7th, blood ritual, animal and or human sacrifice and dismemberment. Notice how January 20th says abduction, ceremonial preparation and holding of sacrificial victim for Candlemas. That's what I was talking about on the last live. And it has the ritual as sexual and blood, which that means they're doing sexual satanic rituals that involve sodomy. And this one specifically says oral, anal, vaginal, human sacrifice, female or child. I was talking about that on the last live when I watched that movie about all those kids that were getting abducted and killed in the 70s. That's definitely still going on today. I'm an 80s baby, so I grew up seeing all the time children's pictures on milk cartons at the store. And I always asked my mom, why do kids keep getting kidnapped? She's like, I don't know. Now I do know. And if you grew up like I did during that time period, you remember that. You remember seeing newspaper clippings on the billboards in the grocery stores of children that were missing, or their faces on the milk carton, or their faces on random posts in the streets. Now, this is my opinion, that the reason these children keep coming up abducted is specifically for this shit. It lines up, it makes sense. They start doing abductions for Candlemas, which is February 2nd, in January. And I pointed that out. This year, what was on February 2nd? The Grammys. During the Grammys, Beyonce referred to Baphomet as the Most High. Beyonce, Jay-Z's mail order bride. And allegedly they've been separated for years. February 2nd, Candlemas, Sabbat Festival, Sabbatic Goat Festival. The Sabbatic Goat is Baphomet. Blood ritual, animal and or human sacrifice. Also on February 2nd, Satanic revels, sexual ritual, oral, anal, vaginal. Oral, anal, vaginal, that's rape. Look at the age, 7 to 17, female. Those are minors. Those are kids, teenagers. But this is all just conspiracy theory, even though the dates line up. March 1st, St. Icodok, blood ritual. Drinking of human blood for strength and homage to the demons, any age, male or female. That was the day that Angie Stone was pronounced as dead. March 1st, Satanic holiday. This is why they took down my live on TikTok, because I was connecting these dots, and I didn't even pull up the screenshots on there. I was just talking about it. Right in the middle of me talking about it, they took my live down and told me I couldn't go live for a week. I'll be back on there on the 15th, 1:11 a.m. on the clock. The ancestors is just, angels is just confirming all this shit I'm talking about. 444, 222, and now 111. Then we got March. Let's continue with Angie Stone. Her funerals were dated March 13th, 14th, and 15th. 3 funerals. Again, the significance of the number 3 in Satanism and Freemasonry and witchcraft, which stands for New Beginning and Transformation, as well as the pyramid that stands for New Beginning and Transformation. We have the Satanic Ides of March, blood ritual, assassination. Remember when I pulled up her gematria on the geometric calculator? Labyrinth. Pulled up. 2 rows below Labyrinth, it said Donald Trump child sacrifice. Soon as I uttered those words, TikTok ended my life and said I was spreading misinformation, but that wasn't misinformation. That was what came up under Angie Stone's geometric calculation when I typed in her name. So again, we have to wonder, why do the dates keep lining up if it's misinformation? Because in my opinion, it's not. So like I said, I'm going to end the live. It's late. I'm tired. I said everything I need to say. As far as Charlie KIRK, ain't gonna hold you. Another piece of shit off this earth. Thank God for that. I pray his children, again, grow up to be nothing like him. I really do. And now that I've done the research about him and see the kind of person he was, good riddance. And with that being said, thank you everybody for tuning in to this live tonight. Thank you for everybody that joined in the chat. I appreciate you guys so very much. Thank you to everybody that was watching from Rumble and from Twitch and from Facebook. These types of lives I am going to do exclusively on Rumble. So let me put the link back in the chat so that y'all can follow me on Rumble. Love you back. Miss Williams, thank you so much, my love. Neptune Pisces, good to see you. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, I know it got heavy, but it had to. And one thing y'all know about me is I'm going to address what needs to be addressed. These events that are going on are being orchestrated by the Most High God, according to what I was shown at the end of 2024, as well as the beginning of this year. Don't be surprised, just be prepared. For those who are not, follow me on Rumble. Go on to Rumble right now. It's free to sign up. It's just like, YouTube, Instagram, all of that. Make sure you click subscribe. Make sure you hit follow. I want to give a shout out again to all the DzPeepz that are already following me and that have subscribed on my Rumble channel. Thank you. Thank you to those who have subscribed here. For those who have not, if this was your first time viewing my live tonight, thank you for tuning in and welcome to D's World. Make sure you hit like, share, and subscribe. Turn on your notification bell. That way you get notified every time I go live or upload. And again, it's important to follow me on Rumble because again, Rumble does not censor like YouTube and apparently TikTok does. So make sure to follow me on there. And then don't forget to like the video, comment, share, and leave your comments after the video. I actually do enjoy reviewing those and seeing how you guys feel and interact. And for those who would like to support my channel, feel free to send a donation to my CASHAPP or VENMO. I want to thank everybody for your positive energy. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you to those who have reached out inquiring about booking a psychic reading, and thank you to those who have booked psychic readings and or consultations. I will have more availability tomorrow and possibly even on Sunday. So again, if you would like to book a psychic reading with me, let me put that information in the chat before I end the live in case other people want to. Give me 1 second. So if you're not already, follow me on Instagram. Of course, you can follow me at JustDeeShow. That's my main page that I'm on. But also for those who would like to book a live psychic reading or a video consultation, follow me at Aligned Manifestations by D and DM me on there to get your psychic reading scheduled. And you can also email me at alignedmanifestations@gmail.com. So again, family, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for your love. And thank you for your positive energy. Y'all make sure that you are keeping it high vibrational. Do not give people your power. A lot of times people go out of their way to trigger us to get our power. Don't give it to them. Maintain your frequency. Do like I do. Stand up for yourself. Let people know what it is, but also keep hold to your power, because what you focus on, you give your power to. So again, family, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all stay tuned for the next live. Like I said, I probably will come back tomorrow. Well, later today, rather, because there's another live I want to do. I'm going to see if it's at all possible from the actual Rumble app, if we can maybe do a watch party. But if not, then what I do plan to do is edit some videos that I saw on Instagram. Because in one of the videos, it's really creepy how Ellen is at this like event with all these celebrities and she changes into all white, which that's what they always did at the Diddy parties, and white representing purity and transition. And when I say transition, I'm not referring to like transgender. I mean transitioning from this life to the next. But she literally was passing out pizza and asking specifically, it was what, Kevin Spacey, Harvey Weinstein, Epstein, and a few others. She kept asking them what type of pizza they wanted. And the uncomfortable laughs were extremely telling. So this Pizzagate shit that they keep saying is a conspiracy theory more and more, it's pointing to it's not. And I'll say allegedly for the sake of YouTube. But again, when I'm on Rumble, I don't have to do all that censorship. So that's why we're going to do the rest of these lives on Rumble. So again, family, I love y'all. Y'all have a beautiful day. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way in and out. Don't forget to share the video, comment. And again, for those who are not, don't forget to hit subscribe, not only here on my YouTube channel, but also on Rumble. And if I can get the Rumble app to work with the share screen, then we will be able to do a watch party at some point this weekend. So, love y'all. Y'all have a beautiful day.